The 28th of this month. We're live. Happy Saturday to you all. The name is Law Nation. Let's go. Be sure on your way in to smash the like button, share this content. Let's talk about this once again. Jerry, Wayne, Jones, the information that rules the nation. Yeah, he said it. CeeDee Lamb is better. Now, I have not obtained the audio part of that, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But we're going to talk about it, Cowboy Nation. And I'm not saying that CeeDee Lamb is on the levels of Amari Cooper. But we can hope, we can dream, we can want, right? Cowboy Nation, let's go. Like I said, the name is Law Nation. Happy Saturday to you all. Be sure to find me on multiple outlets and check out lawnationsports.com. Let's go. Are you in good hands? You know that's what Allstate stands, right? For. Shout out to Allstate. Can CeeDee Lamb be in good hands? And of course, Dak Prescott conversation as well. We got to talk about that too, right? Right? Let's go. Come on. Somebody said Swain. He's not buying this. Cowboy Nation, I don't blame you, you know. That's the job of a salesman. The moon is made of cheese, right? And you somehow find a way to get to the moon and you realize, it's just a rock, you know. That's on you. I done already cashed out, you know. But that's what Jerry Jones do, right? And it is what it is at this point, Cowboy Nation. And I was listening to an audio earlier, and I said, you know what? I'm going to keep my virgin ears to it, and I'm going to just play it live with you guys. And before I got to it, they were saying that, you know, Brian Broder said he talked to some of his people, and he was talking about with Tyron Smith, possibly you can get like a third round draft pick for Tyron Smith. Now, y'all know that's my dog, Tyron Smith, man. He's my guy, man. Y'all know I love Tyron Smith. Man, can't get right, though, right? A lot of people I've seen a lot of people want Deebo Samuel. You know what? Deebo Samuel will only work for Dallas if you can get that offensive coordinator. Oh, he went home to Miami land. You know, if we can do a straight up trade, you know, situation and scenario before he went to Miami and trade Kellen Moore for that offensive coordinator, maybe. Maybe, you know. But he's a head coach now, and he got a lot of food on his plate in Miami land. And Deebo, he's looking to get about $26 to $28 million, and I believe the 49ers will go ahead and solidify that agreement. So, Cowboy Nation, stop. He's an enemy. You know, Deebo is an enemy. Our Deebo is we don't have one. We have CeeDee Lamb, though, you know. And I'm looking at CeeDee Lamb production. Back last year, he had 1,000 yards. I wanted to say back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. But he had good production for 2 years solid, right? And a lot of people, what they look at, they say, man, we want it now. We want 1,000 yards every year now. Like the best wide receiver in the NFL, one can argue and say Devontae Adams, right? Devontae can run every route that's known to man. Got good subtle speed, great wide receiver. I think he is the highest paid wide receiver outside of him and Tyreek Hill. It took Devontae Adams 5 years before he can get to the levels of productions of what CeeDee Lamb is doing now, right? sometimes it takes time, Cowboy Nation. It do. But I get it, man. We be looking at it like, hey, Law, we want Devontae Adams now. We want blah, blah, blah now. But it takes time. Cowboys since 1972, yes, Debo want big money. Yeah, he want big money. But neither here nor there. The Dallas Cowboys wide receiver room should look like, on one end you got CeeDee Lamb. On the other end, of course, you have probably James Washington. Gallup is going to be ready, I would say, November-ish, into the groove of things. And if he come anytime before that time frame to be ready, then they're just surprised, right? But I would like for them to slow unwrap him and let him slowly get things together. Don't rush him out here for week 1, week 2, week 3, and then all of a sudden, he never plays the same because you rushed him. So, of course, you got Jalen Tolbert, you got Simi Fehoko, you got TJ Vasher, you got Ty Fogel, you got Dontario Drummond. So you got a lot of guys as a big room, and we looking for that one guy that can step up. Tyron would retire with Crawford before being traded. Yeah, this is from Jametta, Washington. Now, I agree, Jametta, I agree that Tyron Smith will retire, Cowboy. I don't see him in another uniform, right? And here's another thing, Cowboy Nation. I just wonder this. If Tyron Smith can be a guy that can just take a year off, just take a whole year off. I got a yacht. I want you to just sail around the world. Get healthy. Eat your oodles and noodles. Drink plenty of alkaline water, right? Eat the real fruit from other islands and stuff like that. Mangoes and everything else. Just take a whole year off, Get your chakras together, and hopefully that will be the situation and scenario, and then come back next year. How about that one, Because there was a guy that played for, I want to say the Rams, right? He was like 41, 42, just as old as Tom Brady. Just take a year off. That's what I would say. And I could be crass when I say those things, but it's basically, it is what it is. But before we play some audio, I want you guys to take a look at this right here. I'm gonna see if I can share this screen with you guys. I really appreciate you. If this your first time watching, let me know in the chat. If your first time watching, I need to know who's first time here. And on top of that, if you've been here before, let me just see some blue hearts or something, man. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day so far. All right, so this was the article, Pro Football Talk. It says, Jerry Jones says CeeDee Lamb is an upgrade over Amari Cooper as number 1 receiver. Now, upgrades can happen in multiple ways, Cowboy Nation. Some people upgrade their phone plan by adding a line to their account, right? Some people say, hey, I'm upgrading from a single family plan to a family plan. That's an upgrade, right? More on the bill. Some people upgrade their unlimited text, unlimited Wi-Fi or internet, however that goes, depending on your plan or services or what have you. So in what area and what language is Jerry Jones really selling? Is he an upgrade as an overall wide receiver? Mentality? Buddy on the field? Is he more comfortable with Dak Prescott? Are all of those things considered an upgrade? Right? And Jerry, he is long in the tooth. I don't think that he's a young buck out here, But it is crazy when I heard the news of what Pro Football Talk said that he had the conversation with. And all you guys got to do, let me share this information with you guys so that you guys can check out this tweet. And I know some of you guys already read the tweet. You guys already read, the information within. Jerry better choose his words carefully. This is from Jay Lombardi. Yeah, it's an unwise saying, because now what you're doing, Jerry, you pouring upon pressure. You pushing P, as I say, even though it's positivity. You pushing it. But now you're not just allowing it to be organic, right? You are pretty much sprinkling a lot of pressure on this man by talking glowingly. And my guy Gamer said, people stop sleeping on Lamb. You're right. Look, dog, I'm going to give you one of these. You're right. You're right. And I'm a big pro advocate of Lamb for this season. This is his third year, and I said literally on the final word, 116 receptions, 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns is what I'm looking for out of Lamb. And what we got to do too is, if shout out to Jay Lombardi, man. Y'all put Pushing P in the chat. I want to see some Pushing P. I wish I could play that song right now, just a hook. Pushing P, and I put Jerry Jones' face on it, Jerry, he is pushing P. He is. Just stop dropping passes. What, Akeem, what if I told you Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson all have more drops than CeeDee Lamb, Now, granted, they had more targets too, right? Let me see Pushing P. Yeah. But I don't want you guys to follow the narrative of what the 3-ladder or the 4-ladder network will say about the Dallas Cowboys, because they're gonna flat out say everything and anything that's negative. Those boys are gonna say, hey, Ezekiel Elliott, he can't run anymore. He's trash law. He ain't who he is. He ain't who you think he is. That's Ezekiel Elliott. Let's start Tony Pollard, right? Oh, this guy right here is he cut on the end route right here. Nice little deal right there. Oh, he was a wasted pick. The Cowboys should have picked A.J. Terrell. So many things. A.J. Terrell is better than Trayvon Diggs. 77 is terrible. Dak can't throw. Noah Brown is just Noah Brown. They're going to say those things. They're going to talk about these players. They're going to say that Simi Fehoko is trashed and washed. He didn't get a chance to even catch last year. And I encourage you guys to go back and watch that Steelers game, and you will see, man, this dude, he can get off, And 73, he ain't no Larry Allen. I had a lot of assessments with that. And then, of course, T.J. Vasher, just the Cowboys reaching again. And this guy right here, Ty, he ain't going to be nobody. That's how they talk about the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm actually like the Cowboys Avenger over here. I'm the person that's going to go up against the media, the 4-ladder network, and I'm bringing it all the way without hesitations nor deviations, right? But, oh, man, Sam Williams, he was a reach. And there was only one person out of this draft that had more sacks than Sam Williams. I know Diggs, he give up too many yards. Y'all know how this thing goes. Back to Sam Williams. It is what it is at this point. They do not stand the Cowboys. They don't love us at all. They don't love us at all. Yep. And my guy Gorman says Zeke got slow, Law. I tell you what, if you watch the first set of games, and even the game right after his PCL tear, you would say to yourself, hey, man, you mix in with what he can do as well as Tony Pollard, who is the most, there was a report out there that Tony Pollard was the most underrated player in the National Football League. Yeah, Verdi hit me up with a good one right there. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns, things we don't know that we don't know.
Cowboys practice.
Well, limited in the fact that we are only getting one practice a week, but OTAs is actually a really great time for some insight because they let us sit out there for all 2 hours of practice. And so we got to sit there and kind of take it all in. The biggest takeaway to me is Dak Prescott, his lateral movement, his agility, just the way he's moving around the field, when he goes on the run and some of these drills and stuff like that. He looks like, pre-pandemic Dak to me moving.
Oh, baby.
And he looks lighter, honestly. He looks fitter.
Lighter?
He looks more mobile. Yeah, he looks a little lighter. He looks more fit. He looks more mobile. And, I think it's questions. I was concerned how it would look. I remember Brian coming out of training camp last year talking about how Dak looked like he needed to kind of get going before he could hit his stride and start running. And I know people kind of observed that with him on the field last year. It didn't look anything like that yesterday. Yesterday, he looked as good moving around as I can remember seeing him.
All right, so that's good, Cowboy Nation. I understand. The detractors of Dak Prescott would say, hey, man, we hear the same news every year. Right? I get it, right? But I know some people right now that twisted their ankle probably in 97 and never went running again. Like, nah, man, I'm good, man. I twisted my ankle in 97. I ain't finna go out there and run again, man. I got too much weight, There's people that would talk bad about Dak Prescott who probably fell off the bottom step of the stairs, the bottom step. Hey, man, I ain't going up them stairs no more. I fell, man. But this dude had a compound fracture last year, right? And, of course, I don't care what he say. He'd say, well, man, I had extreme hope and confidence in myself. But that was in the back of his mind all last year. Had to be in the psyche of the minds of Dak Prescott. And he couldn't move the way he wanted to move. And, of course, we still waiting to see Dak Prescott move, right? But last year after that calf injury, you got to know that was in the back of his mind, right? It had to be there. That's the only thing that I can think of. Because when I start looking at everything, shout out to the DallasCowboys.com for putting up this beautiful display. Right, I really appreciate them. Let me blow it up for everybody so everybody can see. When we think of it, Dak Prescott first 6 weeks. 73.1 completions, 302 yards per game, touchdown to interception ratio, 4 tubs to 1, 115 QBR. Yeah. And, of course, they put a little asterisk at the end. This dude threw 5 TDs against the Eagles in Week 18. But Week 8 through 18, 65 completion percentage, 263 yards per game, and a 3.5 touchdown to 1 interception ratio. I don't know where they get the 0.5 from, but it maybe got a half of a touchdown. I don't know how that works, but the QBR, 98.1 QBR. And one can argue, 98.1, that's good. That's not average. But we don't want that second half. But what happened? It's a combination of multiple things, Cowboy Nation. It's a combination of multiple things. But since we put this chart up there, it's a combination of multiple things, man, and I get it, right? I absolutely understand the people to be upset and angry. He got every right to be. But I want you guys to screenshot that so that I can comfort you. This is not me putting the lipstick on the pig, by the way. These are actual evidence of this guy doing something, right? Cowboy Nation? Oh, and since we got this information up, my sister company that reached out to me, and she got some unbelievable breaking news on a Saturday. She do. Listen in.
We answered. I talked stuff. I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team, and I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles for the hard fight they did?
Let's go Birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl chance for now.
Oh my gosh, man. You gonna flap the hat one more time? Oh my gosh. That's in reference of throwing 5 touchdowns against the Eagles in week 18. I don't care. I don't care. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, the Eagles fan base and the Eagles players themselves, I don't care if we had the Cowboys cheerleaders out there on the field. They would literally ride all the way to the bank with, hey, man, our quarterback threw 5 touchdowns, Hey, look, for many of years, Cowboy Nation, it was the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles, and I would never, ever forget Donovan McNabb with the circus moving around, and my guy DeMarcus Ware trying to hit him, and he's just slipping off of him, and he's spinning around, and he rolls out to the right or roll to the left and throw the ball, and some guy by the name of Todd Pinkston or something, catches the ball for a touchdown or run it all in, and I had to hear those Eagles droplings all day. So, yeah, I'm going to return the flavor, right? The flavor is real. But let's listen to more of this audio. What's his name? Todd Pinkston? Whatever his name was, y'all let me know.
Bobby Bell joining us here, our Cowboys insider on DFW Sports Station.
Oh, it was Freddie. It was Freddie Mitchell. Yeah, okay, appreciate you. It was one of those guys. Freddie Mitchell. I can't stand him. Hey, Lord, Freddie is on fire right now. Would you put him out? I'm gonna let an Eagle fan do it. Nah, I'm just joking. That's just a joke. That's just a joke. Come on.
CeeDee Lamb looked different with the 10 pounds added from 197 to 207, according to him.
Yeah, 10 pounds, and he also says he grew a half an inch at the age of 23. I don't know that I'd totally buy that. I was standing a foot from him for 10 minutes yesterday, and I don't see where that 10 pounds went.
I saw a picture. I saw a picture from Machota of him catching a pass, and I'm like, I don't see it. It was just one picture.
No, and like I said, standing at his locker and standing next to him, it's like, man, I don't know. You still look pretty rail thin to me. But, 10 pounds, if if he has grown a half an inch, maybe that stretches it out some. And I don't know where all it's gone. But, no, he looks like he's ready to take on the number 1 receiver role. I know that. And that's the way he was talking yesterday. He said, I thought it was really interesting. We haven't heard a lot of, alpha dog comments from him during his time here in Dallas. And I know that's something the Cowboys wanted more of in the receiver room this year. They wanted more juice. They wanted more of an edge. And, CeeDee said yesterday, he said he feels like if he's not getting going, then they're not going to get going.
All right, so that's good information from Bobby Bell on CeeDee. So he said from his natural eyes that CeeDee looks the same, frail, thin wide receiver. And there are conflicting pictures out there. One picture looked like he's big, and then the other picture looked like he's small. So yeah, there are situations that we will wait and see. I just want him to get stronger. Look, Jerry Rice wasn't a real big physical wide receiver, but he was finessed enough, right? And he high point the ball and gets you some yards after catch. And that's shout out to Jerry Rice, right? And then we can go down the line with A.J. Greens of the worlds, DeAndre Hopkins for many of years. I just want him. Justin Jefferson is not that big. Yeah, I see somebody saying that. But he can do it, right? So let's not fall into the traps of thinking let's not fall into the traps of thinking that you need a big wide receiver, though. But let's listen to more of this audio, and I'll get into more details. Let me rewind it just a little bit so we can get into this right quick.
And that he was kind of putting a lot of pressure into me. But, 10 pounds, if he has grown a half an inch, maybe that stretches it out some. And I don't know where all it's gone. But, no, he looks like he's ready to take on the number one receiver role. I know that. And that's the way he was talking yesterday. He said, I thought it was really interesting. We haven't heard a lot of, alpha dog comments from him during his time here in Dallas. And I know that's something the Cowboys wanted more of in the receiver room this year. They wanted more juice. They wanted more of an edge. And, CeeDee said yesterday, he said he feels like if he's not getting going, then they're not going to get going. And that he was kind of putting a lot of pressure on himself. Is like, look, I got to be one of the main reasons that the offense gets going. And so I think that's an encouraging perspective to have because it's true. I think that a lot is going to be on that Dak to CeeDee connection. And if it's not clicking, if they're not hitting on that this year, then the offense is really going to struggle.
Yeah, so it is what it is. This is the thing, Cowboy Nation. I just look at it like this. Can he run the 9 route? Can he run the shallow drag, the deep drag? Can he catch the ball on a comeback or a hitch or what have you? And the size aspect of it, whether he's big. What was that guy, Cat Williams? He said, I can't say I'm going to do the PG-13 version. Whether she was big and got small or whether she was small and got big, we winning, basically. I cleaned it up. We winning. I just want my guy to win. See, I guess he was talking about stretch marks, so he didn't matter, whether she was big and got small or small and got big. I can't say the rest of it. But that's the situation that I'm looking at for CeeDee Lamb. Whether he was big and got small or whether he was small and got big. The reality of it is, can he get open? Can he run inside the route? Catch the ball inside the middle? Can we put him on an end around? Yeah, Jay Lombardi. He said, that was prime Cat Williams. I tried, look, man, shout out to my dog Cat Williams, man. I tried to watch his other previous special on Netflix, and I'm sitting there like, did I forget how to laugh? They could have just put somebody that's in this chat right now and gave them a Netflix special. Well, my dog Country Wayne, give him a Netflix special. He would have tore up the place in a good way. But Cat Williams, I'm still waiting to laugh. I had to end up just changing it to another episode on Netflix. But if you like Cat Williams, check him out on Netflix. Maybe you can find a laughter in it. Nice jacket, though. He had a nice jacket, had stars all over it. It was looking pretty good for him.
What is the, because when you had three top flight receivers or 3 main ones, you're going to spread the ball around. What is the expectation, just ballpark that CeeDee and Dak hook up for this year?
In terms of the actual statistical production?
Yeah.
I would say, I think you need to step up and have a, 1,400-yard season for CeeDee.
Yep.
If you don't have that now with Amari not here, the whole conversation has been about, well, now that he's the only option. Amari's not here. He should be putting up those numbers that we haven't seen from him. You'll start seeing him compete with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and guys like this. And, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver, an 1,100-yard receiver. So, yeah, I would say that if you're going to be the guy now and you want to be known as the true number one, I think you're going to have to put up another 200 to 300 yards. And 13-14, well, that's a sizable amount. You got to remember, this is also a 17-game season now. You've got an extra game to get that done. It's not going to be as unattainable as it was in years past, especially if you're the guy who's going to be the target, especially early on without Michael Gallup being in the lineup potentially for 2 to 3 weeks.
Look, that was the end of that, but I have no choice but to laugh at it because, I know that a lot of people are, where my hit at?
Emotional damage.
A lot of people are hit with the emotional damage of my guy. Here's the thing with CeeDee Lamb. You cannot fabricate the targets. You can't. You got to get the real targets. You can't just pull up the targets out of thin air. It's just reality of it. I think somebody said, my guy Cuban boy says the last 30 minutes of Cat, the last 30 minutes was good, but Cat did drop the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take your work and I'm going to go watch the last 30 minutes of it, because I watched the first few minutes of it and I was like, I forgot how to laugh and I turned it off. So I'm going to go back and watch the last 30 minutes of Cat Williams. Cat Williams, cool dude, though, by the way. It's just the fact that he liked to attack. He attacked everybody. He attacked Steve Harvey. He done fooled around and attacked, who else? Kevin Hart. He done just attacked everybody. Helps, Mike Helps. So he attacked everybody like, look, dude, you want to fight everybody in comedy, and then you got knocked out by an 11-year-old. So it was just crazy. Like, come on, man, I don't see the correlations, But it is what it is. Shout out to Cat Williams. I'm going to watch off of your strengths, Cuban. I'm going to watch the last 30 minutes of it, and I'm going to see if I can get a chuckle. East Camden says he's going to stick with David Chappelle and Bill Burr. Bill Burr's funny as all get out. And, of course, David Chappelle is just a legend. Too much cussing for me. Yeah, you got to be a clean comic. You don't have to cuss to make someone laugh, but some people do love the cussing, believe it or not. Sam Williams is a second-year type guy. This is from Dave. So you saying that Sam. Look, here's my thoughts on Sam Williams. That's a good, brilliant point. I think that what I said earlier on the highlight reel that I talked about on my channel is that Sam Williams, he's physical, he's big, he's fast. He got to work on his hands, of course, and get skinny and get to the quarterback. But this is the beautiful thing of it all. You're not looking for him to do it year one. Sam Williams can literally play so good year one, make you feel like you crazy because you paid Dorrance Armstrong. Like, God dog, I paid Dorrance Armstrong, and I fooled around and drafted Sam Williams. That's crazy. Bill Burr is hilarious. Bill Burr is too funny, man. Oh my gosh, I would say some of his comics, but I don't want to start it right now. Start the people, the narrow-minded people, to say something negative about my guy Bill Burr, but it is what it is. Offensive line, Sam. Well, look, my guy Fab says Sam would be in with Micah on certain plays, causing havoc. Yeah, I can see a world like that. I can see a world whereas you blitzing Parsons through the A or B, or blitzing Parsons around the edge there. And it's a good thing. 601, baby. Appreciate you still. Appreciate you. The king. D.I. Love. All right, so I got some more audio to re-talk about.
I teased about.
This is some more audio that I'm going to play. Let me share this audio first from the 105.3 The Fan. Be sure to check out them and listen to the full, complete audio. They on YouTube as well as Twitch and Twitter and Facebook, 105.3 The Fan. But that is their website, odyssey.com, 105.3 The Fan. Be sure to check them out and listen to the full, complete audio with everything. With everything, without me pausing and rewinding. All right, so let's listen to this one as we get up out of here.
Would you trade for this guy, or would you give up this guy, is what I was talking about. And it goes back to the discussion we had yesterday about Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Gang of Seven guys last night.
That discussion was me saying he's hurt already.
Right.
This is a Porzingis situation, maybe even worse than Porzingis.
Right.
And they should look to move on.
Yeah. And so I did. I reached out to the Gang of Seven guys, and 4 of them got back with me. I believe I had that right. But There's some interesting thoughts here about where they think the range of where you would maybe try and get what you could get for Tyron Smith if you're the Dallas Cowboys. And one of the gangs said they could probably get a third, but he's saying I don't see them trading him.
Y'all hear that? So, what would you do? What would you do right now for a third-round draft pick, Cowboy Nation, for Tyron Smith? Like, what would you really say to yourself? Like, oh, man, he's a legend, man. That star's supposed to be on his helmet for the rest of his life, right? Because who really seen, like, I'm not saying that he had this level of impact to the Cowboys organization or franchise, but the closest thing that I could think of is maybe a Troy Aikman. I think that the Eagles really wanted to figure out a way to get Troy Aikman in there on that uniform. That would have been crazy, right? Or seeing Michael Irvin in a Washington uniform, that would have been crazy. The Eagles really tried to get Troy. There's a document out there. I think it was on Troy's Aikman's document, and I think it was the Eagles or it was the Dolphins, but I would try to find that link for you guys. But neither here nor there. It really irks me when I saw Emmitt Smith in that Cardinals red, you know. It was crazy, right? It was crazy. And we can never unsee it, right? It has just so happened that the Dallas Cowboys, when we played the good old Cards, at the time we beat them real bad. And all I could think of is like, Emmett, oh, you should have not even put on that other jersey. So same could be said with like Tyron Smith. Like, would you really think to see Tyron Smith in another uniform? It just wouldn't really look good, but you're going to get a starter for a left tackle in the third, not just from Troy Dudley. I'm in for a 3 and a 5. Okay, all right. That's how the value goes. Trade all day, J all day. Not worth it. Who is Bill Burr? Just look him up. My guy, Keem, appreciate you. Heard the Cowboys were interested in OBJ and Sue. The_boys, let me know where you heard it from so I can look into it, you know. Pay cut. I'm reading all your comments here. That's writing on the wall. Chavez is here from Fly Eagles Fly to the land of no victory. Shout out to you for watching. Tyron and Andrew Whitworth. Yeah. Is our Andrew Whitworth. Yeah, Georgie, you're right. 77 is fam, right? So the Cowboys are going to intervene, and I think that Brian Broaddus is right with it, you know. OBJ hates the Cowboys. I think OBJ, his father and his mom, diehard Cowboy fans, and he grew up a Cowboy fan as well. But we'll find out, man, what OBJ will do in the future. My thing is he is recovering as well as Gallup. Both guys are recovering from their injury situation, and the Cowboys put a lot of money on the table for Gallup. So I don't think that they will be the ACL boys. I don't think that they would do that. That's just my opinion. Dorsett, Ware was disappointing in my opinion. This is from Tony. Yeah, when I got a chance to see DeMarcus Ware in that Denver's uniform, it was like literally pain for us to see that, right? It was pain because all I can think of is that was our sacks that he was doing. Like the things that he was doing in Denver was for us. What was the main issue in 2014? Oh, no pressure to the quarterbacks. Defense was ranked pretty good, but we was masking a lot of things. And all I can think of in 2014, this quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, limping around, and we got nobody that can put a finger on him. We have nobody that can create pressure off the edge. Somebody can say, until we got Parsons, we were still looking for that where. It broke my heart. Yep. That's spilled milk. But it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. I could only say to ourselves, man, if we were to hell on, because I think DeMarcus Ware, he went to the Denver Broncos in what, year 20, was it 13 and 14 or was it 14? His last year. What was DeMarcus Ware last year with us? Was it 13? Y'all let me know. And I knew that he kept having these little injuries, and they was like, we can't go back and forth with this dude. He want money, and we can't pay him. And then he went off. Appreciate you, Stephen White. Appreciate you. East, we're tired of losing. Yeah, D-line coach. Only Cowboy fans love players that they leave more than the players that they are at the current on the current Cowboys. Yeah, you're right. I read an excerpt from a guy that I need to retweet, and he was saying the same sentiments. When the players here, we trash them. When they go to another team, they love them. They absolutely love him. Dez, when he was here, first few years, yeah, they love him. Then, he went to the point where they wanted to get rid of him, right? And then when they got rid of him, some celebrated, some didn't. And now that he's gone, people rejoice and they love him in anything that he do. Same could be said by any player that used to wear that silver and blue. But that's a story of a different day.
They still believe he can play at a high level, but he's playing below that. Not his fault he's broken down.
Yeah, no, injuries aren't your fault.
Yeah.
But they are a reality.
Yeah.
I probably agree with that member of the Gang of Seven, Brian, because these Cowboys, they fall in love with people in their organization, and
sure.
they wait like 3 years too late to move on from them.
Yeah. So, that's the thing about it is that we always, every time you ever talked about the Cowboys, guys, right, Zach, Eric, when it was – who are the best players? It was always Tyron Smith. It was
right.
And then Zach Martin came along, and it
right.
was now it's Micah Parsons and stuff like that. But I think that I agree with that gang member right there. Again, a third-round pick. Now let me ask you guys this: would you take a third-round pick for him right now?
Yes. Yeah. In a heartbeat.
Kenny's shaking his head no. The resident Cowboy fan over there shaking his head no.
If this was a Cowboys team that was like on the cusp of, hey, we think we're about to do something, and their offseason showed that, hey, we feel like we are a team that is a few players away and we're bringing in talent and not watching talent leave the door, then I'd say, no, I'll take an 8 games out of Tyron Smith or whatever it is, as long as I can just have a healthy Tyron Smith for the playoffs. Absolutely, we're going all in here. But the Cowboys have conducted themselves like a team that is just okay with maybe winning the division, maybe getting to the playoffs, and probably out in the first round.
Now, that's what I disagree with. I disagree with the person that's saying that. And shout out to 105.3 The Fan. The Cowboys are not able to make the moves that what we think that the Rams did to win the Super Bowl. We're not. Even if we were capable of doing such, right? Without Stephen Jones, let's say we had another GM or anyone else, because we are not able to do these type of things. Move in silence. We always hyped up. Look, we could sign a guy tomorrow to the practice squad. I do a video on it. That video goes crazy, right? I could do a video next week about a player that's currently on the team. You guys won't really pay too much for him. You pay attention too much to him, you probably like, okay. But the new guy, boy, y'all going to bump and pump him up like no other, which is okay, right? I get it. But when the Cowboys start making a bunch and a lot of moves, you're going to hear these sayings, the Cowboys tried to buy the Super Bowl. Oh, the Cowboys are trying to turn the knob to win. Like that's not what all teams are doing, but when the Cowboys do it, there's extra set of eyeballs. There's more and more pressure put upon from the media and the expectations. Like all last year, people were talking about Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb like they've been in the league for like 5 or 6 years. Justin Jefferson can fly right under the radar. There's not many. Look, case in point, I can't make this stuff up, but Justin Jefferson, every game that he played against us, it wasn't that. It was that. It was flat out that. And you don't hear first take, third take, undisputed, speak for yourself or speak for everyone else. You don't hear those storylines of saying, hey, that Justin Jefferson, he dropped the ball on that pivotal route or that pivotal down. But if you pick up Justin Jefferson and move him to the Cowboys and move CeeDee Lamb to the Vikings, it would have been, hey, you know, he can't catch. He dropping the ball. It's crazy. So that is the reality of it. Like, oh, can y'all close your eyes and imagine, like right now, to all of the Philly fans that's watching right now, shout out to the Philly fans. You guys get a little of it because y'all play in the NFC East, right? And they calling us least, right? Everybody in this particular division got a ring. But if I were to flip it and the Cowboys do the exact same thing of what the Eagles done or what have you this offseason, don't you know how much Donkey Kong type of stuff that they going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys? Oh, they got Big Jordan Davis. Ooh, they made a trade for A.J. Brown. Can you believe they got the leading tackler out of Chargers land, Kaiser Wright? Oh, they went and got Pascal. Oh, you better watch out, Cam Jurgens. It will be total pandemonium. Oh, look at Jerry Willen and Dillon for N'Kobe Dean. The Cowboys, they would not be talking about can the Cowboys get to the Super Bowl. They will be talking about dynasty. That will be the levels of pressure. Can this be the next dynasty? Can they win 2 back-to-back? And we haven't even played a game. They would have been literally, it would have been all over ESPN. The Cowboys are who they are. They finna choke, but they trying to make a move of picking up and buying all of these players. Right? Let me know if I'm wrong. That's what the media, they bloviate and they pump up anything and everything what the Cowboys do, and then they take it, right? They try to take it away from them. Even within the same context of Undisputed, I believe. Which one is Undisputed? Well, first take. Nah, that's Undisputed with Shay Sharp. With his own words, he got us better. He don't know it, but I know it. He got us better than what we were last year. He said, I got the Cowboys going 10-7. 10-7. Lo and behold, that's better than what you had them going last year. And all of you talking about is that the Cowboys got worse. So let me get this straight. Last year, you definitely didn't have the Cowboys going 10-7. You said that they won't even win over 8 games. But now, and all off season, you said that we missing out on Amari Cooper. We missing out on this guy. The continuity with this guy not going to be the same. And now your prediction is now that we're going to be better. So naturally, by the natural orders of law, that technically, by you saying before we even play the game that the Cowboys going to go 10-7, we better than what we were last year. And he don't even know it. I can't make this stuff up. I digress. You know, some of the people won't even catch what I'm saying until the season kick off.
That's what they've conducted themselves like. Maybe they surprised us. Maybe all these guys they brought in, all these draft picks and these cheap veteran dudes in free agency, these bargain bin free agents like they like to do, maybe they come in and they, holy smokes, we got a bunch of J-Ron Kerr signings here. We're rocking and rolling. Then I'll do some crow eating like Broadus is going to do tomorrow after his crappy Mavs take today. But otherwise, Tyron Smith, what is Tyron Smith at this point? He's a guy that showed you in the final game of the season against San Francisco. He's clearly not the same player. And then he's also a guy that has played 2 games in 11 games in the last 2 years, and before that was guaranteed to miss 3 games.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, you've just drafted the quote-unquote Tyron Smith replacement. And he goes by the name of...
Who's the backup left guard right now? That's what and that's just one practice.
Sure.
Right. So shout out to Brian Broaders, and I forgot the guy's name with the ponytail, man. I apologize, man. If you guys know his name, post it in the chat. Shout out to him. My thing is, Cowboy Nation, I absolutely get it with Tyron Smith. I'm not saying that he's never going to get hurt again or injured again. And he had his warts. But every time I look at Tyron Smith, it takes him one game. It literally takes him one game to get back into shape. Literally takes him. And every time he came back last year and the previous year, after that one game, he goes back. He gets rejuvenated back to the Tyron Smith that we all love and rejoice. But if you go back, look at the tape, man, that Raiders game was terrible. Why? That was his first game back. You go back, look at the tape, that 49ers game, terrible. Why? That was his first game back. Remember, they had him on short practice schedules, right? Because he was coming back from the C-19. And he had that injury that happened right before the C-19. I said, man, Tyron, boy. So, yeah, we got to compute all of that in. And the craziest thing of it all, I believe Tyron Smith busted a few mirrors, if you believe in that, or walked under some ladders. It had to be in a tall ladder, right? Black cat crossed his pathway. Because both of the injuries last year outside of the C-19, and that could have came from a player, who knows. But both of the injuries was self-inflicted injuries by his own teammate, his compatriot, his own teammate rolled up under him. I was like, good grave, come on. And I got to say this before I lose the track of thoughts. There's a guy on my Facebook page. I don't know if you're watching now. Your name slipped me. But he said he have his reservations on Tyler Smith, not Tyron, but Tyler Smith playing guard, because he feel like, hey, if they play tackle in college, they should play tackle and on the second level or this next level right here in the pros. He's worried about the holdings or what have you. Look, Connor Williams naturally got short arms. His base was never strong. His feet really quick. And if you go back and look at way Connor Williams get beat, is because either a player overpowered him and he's trying to position to get back inside. His feet is quick enough, but his upper body is too weak, and he ended up reaching. The aficionados call it majority of the time. Look back at majority of his particular holds were because of that. Now, when you look at the holdings of what Tyler Smith, he's strong. I think he still got a good feet. He's a little stiffer than Connor Williams, but I think that his length, his arms are pretty good. He get holding calls for being over aggressive, right? It's a point in time where you got to release. You got to let him go. There's holdings in every single game. In every single matchup, there's a holding call that you can call. It's like a touch foul in basketball. For all of my conspiracy theorists out there who say, hey, man, that's how they really control the game law, I feel you, right? The Illuminati all over the body, of the NFL, I get it, right? There's always a person that can control the outcome of it partially, right? That's just me speaking freely. But I think from a technique aspect, you would get less calls from him because his cylinder is smaller. And he got people to the right and left of him. But when you play tackle, you got C-gap and beyond. The C-gap never ends. And on top of that, you got to be quick enough to control what's on the right of you, especially playing that left tackle. I believe the coaching staff will get good old boy up to speed and up to par, and he will be playing pretty well. So that's just my thoughts on it. I could be 1,000% wrong on it, but Cowboy Nation, hear me out. Let's just wait to see how this thing all work its way out all together. Let's listen to more of this audio.
Sure, but I mean, your
Tyron
offensive
Smith
line
is going to be atrocious this year. But look, I mean, it's a team that it might end.
Whoa! You said atrocious?
It's going to be bad this year.
You think the offensive line for the Cowboys can be
if you
atrocious?
make that move and you trade
if you make the
Tyron
move,
Smith.
okay.
But here's the thing. I mean, there's nothing to tell you that he's really going to be available for anything more than half the season at best, right? I mean, he hasn't played a full season since 2015.
He himself was atrocious against San Francisco.
He was. Now, the one caveat I would give him was he was coming off of COVID, I believe, and we do know that affects everybody differently. And he certainly was bad. And I do think this is also a reflection of what the league probably thought of Lyle Collins, because it still is shocking to me that the Cowboys, if they're saying that you could get a 3 for Tyron Smith, and the Cowboys couldn't get that for a player who is 28 and younger, and I know you can say, okay, well, he's got a hip, Tyron's got a back. Okay, neither of those are probably improving.
Well, now here's the thing. Here's the thing with Lyle Collins. Shout out to everybody that's watching. The Cowboys were just foolish. Just flat out foolish with the Lyle Collins. They got hit with that emotional. They got hit with that.
Emotional damage. Another one. Emotional damage. Another one. Emotional damage.
So they got hit with that, man. And in Cincinnati, they did exactly.
Got him.
They got him because that's how it happened. It literally happened because the Cowboys said, all right, cool. Number one, they didn't have to tell a soul about them moving on from Lyle Collins. They were not in the situation nor a scenario that they needed to utilize the money because the money don't come until June the 2nd. Is it June the 2nd yet, Cowboy Nation? So you didn't have to put into the situation, I need the money. You didn't. Because at that point, you could have still held on to Lyle Collins. And they talk about deadline make deals anyway. You hold on to him till redraft time come around. Right? And a good prime example to all of that, let me hear another one. Can I get another one right quick?
Another one.
A good prime example was A.J. Brown. Right? The Eagles just sit there and said, all right, cool. They didn't make no news or no information that, hey, man, we really want this A.J. Brown kid, right? It surprised the hell out of most Eagles fans, right? Those who been honest. And, of course, there was a few slips out there. But the Tennessee Titans came out and said, we really want our guy, A.J. Brown, to be on this team for a long time. He is our, quote-unquote, receiver that we believe in. They shot down every rumor that it was. But the Cowboys did things different. A.J. Brown's a glorified wide receiver number 2. But what I'm saying is, I feel you though, Jay Lombardi. But what I'm saying is that even with big Lyle Collins, the Cowboys could have just sat back and said, you know what? We're going to be really going to just sit back and hold on to him. And then when that draft time come around, they should have been on the phone then. Hey, man, we got this Lyle Collins kid. Now, right now, hey, you don't have no one to protect your quarterback. You talking about this and that. Won't he look good in a Cincinnati Bengals uniform right now? Think about this. Your quarterback gave up over 50 to 60 sacks last year. I don't know how many he really gave up, but you guys get what I'm saying. Lyle Collins is right here. We will at least entertain you for a second or a third, right? And not just him. They could have played all types of game. And the Cincinnati could have been like, nah, we give you a fourth And they could have been like, man, we on the phone right now with the Steelers. They're willing to give us a second. We on the phone right now with the Seattle Seahawks or Denver, and they're willing to give us a first. You got to come up on that price. That's how the price. That's how deals do anyway, right? But if I already announced, hey, if we can't find a trading partner with La'el Collins, we gonna designate him to be a June 2nd cut. Shoot, team says, shoot, bet that.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, we just gonna sit back and chill. And we're going to send some jets out his way. We're going to talk to him. We're going to talk to his cousin, Pookie and Ray Ray, and we're going to let him know, man, hey, over here the water is nice. We going to take real good care of you. I really digress. I think the Cowboys, if anything, they dropped the ball on that one. You know, I really do. I really do, man. They really dropped the ball on that one because they rushed it. You didn't have to rush it. But we get $10 million in a few days, so we'll see what we're going to do with that 10.
And he's got an elbow and an ankle and a knee.
Hell, what are we talking about here? You're talking about two injured guys. One's considerably younger, one's older, right? So, I mean, to me, yeah, I probably would make the move because you don't know how much you're even going to have Tyron available. And I would just take my lumps and go ahead and play Tyler Smith at left tackle and say, all right, we're going to go through this learning curve now. And if our offensive line is horrible, well, at least a year from now, we've gone through this rookie season of the learning curve.
What are those other gang?
Yeah, that is a good, brilliant observation. Just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off and put him at left tackle and say, hey, learn, son, learn. Let's stop the pain for right now. And what you would do with Tyron Smith is take the bullet out, right? You got to extract the bullet. Cowboys Sports Report by Charles in Charge. Why do you think they didn't put Collins back at left guard where he was best at? And then we could have taken a center like Linderbaum in the first round and had 4 sure offensive linemen. It goes back to
emotional damage.
I think Collins expressed that he wanted to play tackle and didn't want to go into the guard position. I think that they probably reached out to La'el Collins. This is just me speculating for the nation. And say, okay, we got this contract and we're going to pay you back at guard. We're going to move you back inside. Pride comes before the fall, and I'm quite sure that he kind of muddied the situation with the front office too. No one liked to lose, by the way. No one liked to lose, especially if you got big egos. And having Terrence Steele to beat him out in certain situations. You talking about an undrafted rookie, or well, undrafted guy at this time now, beating you out of a role at that right tackle? Shoo.
Emotional damage.
You don't want to be that. You know, so you're looking at it like, man, you know what? I'm not finna kick back inside. Nor the coaching staff and the philosophy from the offensive line was thinking highly of you, right? So you're like, nah, I want to be a right tackle. I want to be a tackle. I'm a premium guy in the National Football League, and you guys are making a huge mistake. I refuse. And they say, okay, well, we can trade you. And then tempers flare. We can cut you then. Sure, who you? I can have you playing football at Pelican Bay. Shoe program. You know? How dare you? You going to come up in here late, overweight, and on top of that, you lied to us and the staffing department about your test, huh? And we took care of you. We selected you when you was on trial or on for the investigation, and that's how you treat me. I can't believe you, Collins. That's how you trade me? That's what you doing? I tell you what. Let's just cut him. Let's just cut him. And we're going to make sure that everybody have this report out there of what you was doing when they ask and they pick up the phone. And Cincinnati was like, I don't care if he was snorting. The whole line. And we going to pick this dude up to protect Joe Burrows. Sure. We trying to win a Super Bowl, man. Sure. Y'all going to get rid of him? Well, we'll take a flyer at him. Because I'm quite sure he's better than whatever we had going on. Hey, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I don't care what you try to say, Cowboys. We picking him up. We going back to the Super Bowl. That's what their thoughts of it. Let me know if I'm wrong. That's exactly what it looked like. My guy OTF says, la, you tripping. No, that's exactly. They said, shoot, the Cowboy let him go for free? Shoot. I'm going to pick them up. We blow it off a little bit, man. Shoot, that's good. Oh, you ain't going to get in on this? Y'all ain't going to get in on this? Shoot. I'm going to get in on this Collins, dog. I'm going to eat this one up. Shoot, that's exactly what happened. Jalen Party. He says, as long as watching too much snowfall. Y'all know exactly that's what happened.
Members have to say, Brian. Wow, there it goes again.
Yeah.
Jeez. I feel great.
I knew what you're doing.
I'm not alone.
That's the biggest surprise of the entire day. Dawson
I'm the same way.
Feels great.
I feel great too. Next gang of member 7 said, I would have a hard time thinking a team would trade for him because of his durability concerns. If he got released, I'm sure there would be some interest, but I don't see the Cowboys getting anything from him.
Only teams that fall in love with their players would value Tyron Smith right now.
Or you sit tight and you wait for that training camp preseason or before trade deadline injury to a left tackle on a team that actually.
Shoot, if you get rid of like they crazy. If you cut Lyle, not Lyle Collins, but that's exactly what happened to Lyle Collins. But if you cut Tyron Smith, this is what the report will read right now. News out of Cincinnati, Ohio. They are now picking up Tyron Smith to be their starting left tackle or to at least compete. Now, he is a Hall of Famer, gold jacket Tyron. They're going to talk all glowingly of him. And watch, he going to play for 17 weeks straight. And matter of fact, they're going to, whoever wears number 77 over there, they're going to snatch it off of him. They're going to put it on him. And week 2, you're going to see the lineup. Tyron Smith on the one. I can't make this stuff up. Look, it's hard press, baby. But let me just pull up this right here. And I really don't even use their ratings like that. But shoot, it wouldn't look before they can say the Cowboys done cut. They would have been on the phone with Tyron Smith. They would flat out be on the phone with him. And even look, say what you want. Say what you want. It could be like this. News out of Philadelphia camp. The Philadelphia Eagles are now looking to get Tyron Smith, even if for a good luck charm. They want to bring him in just for a good luck charm because they try to figure out how the last 3 visits the Cowboys played versus them, that they got blown out. So this guy got to know something about the information that rules the nation. So, look, this dude had 738 snaps, 7 penalties, 2 sacks allowed. And if you look at all of that blue stuff, and I really don't go by their grades, but if you go down and look at the pressures allowed, 11 pressures, that's crazy, Cowboy Nation. That's good. Hits allowed. He only allowed the quarterback to get hit 4 times. Some people, when they're playing in one game, allow the quarterback to get hit 5 to 6 times. This dude only for a full season on the games that he did got a chance to play at. 4 times. 4. So don't be falling into the trap that this dude is just some washed up player. It's just the fact that, yeah, those injuries occurred. But I recall the same people saying the same thing about DeMarcus Ware. Like, come on, man. He's getting hurt. He's always injured. And, boy, it took us forever and a day for us to find us a war daddy, dare I say. Right? Somebody that can give you 15 to 16 sacks. Took us forever. But it is what it is. But let's listen to the rest of this.
Actually thinks they are going to win something this year, and they're in a pinch, and they're like, oh, God, we need a veteran guy. Who can we trade for right now? And you wait for that moment.
Well, hell, Tyron might be that guy that's hurt.
Oh, well, that's a fair point. Maybe if you wait too long, Tyron will also be the hurt guy.
I mean, you just better not practice him. But you're right.
Sure.
I mean, that could be the case. And you better be scouring other teams' rosters to see if they're, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Johnny says, look, man, I love you, Johnny, man, for breaking that down. One penalty every 360 snap. Man, I would take that in a heartbeat. Shout out to my guy, Cowboy Sports Report. Once again, appreciate you, man. You are now the sponsor of this show, man. I appreciate you, man. He says it's okay. It was addition by subtraction. Our offensive line is still going to be great this season with 78 at right tackle and big man at left guard. That's Smith, the other Smith. And 21 is going to get, wait. Oh, my gosh. If 21 get 1,400 yards, man, those are very lofty numbers there, That's increase of 400 yards production. I would really want a combination of Pollard. Pollard had 700 some yards last year, right? I wouldn't mind Pollard getting 1,000 yards and somehow let's just work this thing out, man, where they use a double back situation, split back situation. My number, my secret number, you guys already know, not sleep number, but my number is 25. Not sleep number, running number is 25. And I'm not saying that just because you get to 25 attempts, you automatically win the game. But what I'm trying to get the young offensive coordinator to do is balance. Just be balanced, baby. Let's listen to the rest of this audio before.
Because you need a guard.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you what. And you know this, Brian. I was on the Connor McGovern fan club. I was like, that dude needs to be your starting left guard next year. Connor Williams can't play.
But he's
he says they both going to get 1,000. He just going to get 1,400. Ooh-wee. Cowboys, look, man, you speaking my language, but let's just hope that they just do balance. I don't want to see Zeke Elliott just only being the bell cow, Cowboy Nation. No. I want to see some Tonys in there. Sprinkle some Tonys, not just catcher. Tony Pollards. Sprinkle some Tony Pollards. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to find me a seasoning can, and I'm going to have a Tony Pollards. I'm going to find a way. Tony, you missing out on a lot of stuff, man. His people, they got their own barbecue stuff up there in Memphis. They have their own sauces for their barbecue. I'm going to create Tony Pollards, and I'm going to say all season, I'm going to have my shovel. You guys remember the shovels? I'm going to have my dig shovels, and I'm going to have my Tony Pollard seasoning, and I'm just going to be sprinkling it over everything. I want to sprinkle some Tony Pollards on this team. Come on.
Connor McGovern is the best fullback in the sport.
But Connor McGovern does not look good playing that left side for whatever reason. He is serviceable when you play him for Zach Martin when he's injured at right guard, and he's not bad.
Right.
But he cannot play the left side. I don't know what it is, but he is not good over there.
Here's my next Gang of Seven member says, late pick, not durable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the MO now. I mean, that's who he is and what he does now. When you start thinking about Tyron Smith, he's synonymous with lack of durability and lack of availability.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just it's probably a little bit too late now. If the Cowboys were really smart, they'd have got ahead of this a year or two ago.
Well, here's one you're actually going to like then.
What's this one?
And this is a pretty prominent team that told me this one. They said, yes, you could probably get a second-round pick for him.
Let's go.
Who's
that
team?
Bring him up.
Hey, Brian Brothers, man, his people, man, they said you can probably get a second-round pick for Tyron Smith. Would you give up a second-round draft pick for all of the good stuff that I just said about Tyron? He only gave up. And it probably would be those crazy Cincinnati Bengals. Or it could be the Chiefs. Or it could be, you name me a team that's looking for a left tackle, Cowboy Nation. The tackles are hard to come by. The best situation for Tyron Smith would be the Cowboys put these bubble wraps around him, and maybe that's the situation. Ooh, wait a minute. Maybe that is. The Ravens, they need a left tackle. Let me hit it again. That is the situation. The Cowboys, his back stiffening up on them, and they doing the Tyron days. Hey man, all we need to see out of you is 1 to 2 days of practice, and we're gonna put you down as your hip, your back, your neck, your eyeball, the synovial fluid in your knees need to be recharged. We're gonna come up with multiple ways of letting people know that you're battered and bruised. And when week 1 come around, you're going to be healthy. I think that's what the Cowboys are doing. We doing some good old Bill Belichick mind foolery on a lot of people. That's what we doing. That's what I'm gonna lean on. Because I don't think that the Cowboys are going to get a second-round draft pick for Tyron Smith, especially the way we open up our mouths on things. It could be a situation that can happen, but I doubt it. So I believe that the Cowboys are going along with this, and they're going to say, okay, every week they're going to belittle all of the fan bases by saying, hey, man, or all of the media. Say, hey, man, this dude, the synovial fluid need to be drained, This epidermis, something wrong with his skin, He had a root canal. It's going to be something.
I'll tell you during the break.
Okay.
I'll tell you during the break.
Because we need to call them and we need to get this deal done.
Yeah, make sure the Jones boys know about that guy.
Immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're getting a day 2 pick, this needs to just be done. It needs to be a done deal.
Thank you, Wolchuk. Yeah, because a big part of the question is not is he going to be healthy in 22, but the next time you're contending, 23, 24, whenever you decide to go for it again, that's added years. There's no way he's still going to be healthy.
Yeah.
You have a decent shot that he's going to play half the games for you this year, and it goes down probably 10 or 15% in subsequent years.
So you're saying get this team on the phone right now?
I think so. I think you need
You're going to have a hole at left
Don't act
tackle.
too desperate.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole left tackle.
Left guard, too? Or are you going to just are you going to move Smith? Are you just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and move Smith? Tyler Smith.
No, we don't have a whole left tackle. We have a whole left guard because we're moving Tyler Smith to left tackle. And we're just going to have, I guess, yes. Connor McGovern.
But when you think about it, you got 3 people that can play left tackle. Matt Walesko, Josh Ball, and, of course, Tyler Smith. And when you think about it, you only have 2 that can play guard at this point, in my opinion. And the one is still experimental, and that would be Connor McGovern. He's the other guard. You got more depths at left tackle, and of course Tyron Smith. Of course, I forgot his name. So you got a lot of left tackle that people that can play left tackle, and of course, if in a pinch, the only thing that will make this really, let me see how I can put this. If Terrence Steele had his growth aspect of what he had last year, but at left tackle, I would buy anything that the Cowboys selling right now. And I can really look at if Matt Walesko can play on the right side of the field, then we straight, we cool. But the problem is Matt Walesko, he's always been on the left side, right? And on top of that, I don't know who else can be that flexibility to play on that right side. So that's just where everything stop at right now. Josh Ball would be the only choice at left tackle right now. This is from Troy. And I heard the storylines of Josh Ball messing up in practice on the first team reps, and they said, get out of there, get scope. And I think he got a short leash for some reason. So it is what it is. I can't wait. Cowboy Nation, it's been a wonderful time talking to you guys. I got to kick it out with fam on this beautiful day. Happy holidays to everyone for this particular, well, it's really not, happy holiday. But you guys get what I'm saying. Just be safe out there for those on this particular weekend. Just be safe and just be sure that whatever you do, Don't be afraid to call an Uber or Lyft or Pookie and Ray Ray, Shaniqua, or somebody to come pick you up if you under the influences. Be safe out there. Be careful, Cowboy Nation, and for those who watching and beyond. The name is Law Nation. Be sure to hit that like button, share this content if you like. I ain't forcing you to do it, but it will bring you some good feelings, some good vibes throughout your life if you hit that like. And if you watch it all the way to this point and you have not did so.
Shame. Shame.
Shame. Though.
Shame.
It's crazy. And thank you, everybody. I got a little later on, I got a piece that I'm going to do, just a little small, little quick piece on the tight end room. And we're going to talk about these tight ends and the expectations of Dalton Schultz, of what he's going to get paid. And, of course, 48. We will have some highlights of that from the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out to the Cowboys community. And shout out to Cowboys.com. Be sure to check them out. Let them know what's going on. Shout out to your Cowboys Sports Report by Charles in Charge. Be sure to follow and as well as subscribe to his account. And all of the content creators that's out there, help them out. Help is on the way. HBOs. Help them out. Subscribe. Not just to me, but to all Cowboys content creators. And let's continue to grind and shine, Cowboys Nation. There's one thing a man should always do, mainly to himself be true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. When speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turns hearts into stone. I hope you guys wrote that down. You see, in the beginning, it was brother, I will ride with brother. Roll with brother. The morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They'll take a decent man and alter his heart till they seek to rip him apart. Those man, no man, shall call a friend, because they bend lives around the truth until it meets their end. I hope you guys wrote that down. Cowboy Nation. The journey. Shout out to you, Sadiq. We appreciate you for sharing on the Facebook. I mean on the Twitter. You're always sharing. That's a good thing. Let's continue to grind, Cowboy Nation. The battle is necessary. The war is far from being over. Each day you got to get better than what you was before. Right? Keep fighting. I'm going to say this one once again. Jim Rowan once said, when the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. In reality, we all got a mountain to climb. The reality is that the higher you climb, the harder it is to breathe. That means there's elevation, there's levels to this. So when they put high expectations on us, be sure to be ready for the grind and for the climb. Higher elevation. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. That's what I'm expecting. CeeDee Lamb, be ready to climb. Shout out to you, Sadiq. Shout out to you, J. Lombardi. And Charles in Charge, he's the sponsor for this show. Appreciate you. Come on.
Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo. Please, no photos. G's, no. Please, no photos. Hit the door and the doorman just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a new deal to my lawyer. If you're down in my management, I'm just warming up a way till I old producers saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town where you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things with your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck.
Yo. Charles in Charge. Keep in mind, and those who made the donation to help elevate the nation. I'm going to put this out there. we giving away this hat right here. And I got more than one. We got two of them, two for the price of one, right? Basically. But this is authentic hat. And we're going to do the drawings. And I hope those who participated in the donation to help elevate the nation, whether it was via Super Chat, membership, SWAT, on both platforms or multiple platforms, or Cash App, your name will be entered in. And this is authentic hat, as you guys can see. Yeah, look at that price tag for your mind, too. So if you're close to a Cowboys Pro shop, you can literally, make sure it's turned right, yeah, this way. You can literally return the hat if you don't want it, right? But I doubt it. This is a great hat. So for those who are out there, be sure to be ready for your name to be called in the drawings. I'm going to try to do it probably on the next episode. So let's continue to grind and shine, baby. Let's get back. Let's go. Let me see those blue hearts. I see too many green hearts in there. Come on. But appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you. What we got? What we got over here?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Monty.
He answered. I talk stuff. I thought we had it. But it goes to show you who's the better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You crying?
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time for the Eagles with a hard fight they did?
Let's go, birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl chance for now.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh, man. One love to y'all, man. Y'all be safe out there, man. Keep your heads on the ones and twos, baby. And be sure, look both ways before you cross the street. Let's go. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Let's go. Let the world spin. Yeah. Come on. Get him, Zeke. Let me see some love in the chat, baby. Yeah. And you. Come on, baby. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I follow. Wherever you go, whatever you do. Come on. And another one. And another one. Fighting you was the one I lost. 7 wonders all in one. All in one. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. Gotta earn that star. If a paper crane can fly on
fly on, fly on, fly on.
And remember,
Fly on.
you're listening to nothing but the best. We about.
You have to be your biggest fan. And
we need that first 6 week. Dak, come on, give it to us.
but there's something inside of you that says the truth. I just have to follow that because you don't know who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna meet.
It's Mr. Nasty Kind. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Darkness is your eye. Get your damn act together. You adopted the dark. I was born in it.
Because you don't know who you're gonna meet, who you're gonna
When you pray for rain, you gotta deal with the mud too. I want me some. Are you not entertained? I sort of have a question myself. Where should I go? Where should I go? Where should I go? No days we're gonna have a good session, but I was born in it. You get nothing.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that because you don't know who